Welcome back to another episode. And if you couldn't already tell, we bought HKS Hipermax Type R coilovers for the GTR. I also dropped my website, teresa'sgarage.com. Go check it out. We have some shirts. I'm wearing one of them right now. And there's another one right here. And then I'll drop a bead roll here in a second. But it's Godzilla on Mount Fuji. And it says Gojira or Godzilla next to it. And I'm really proud of it. So go check it out. Again, that's teresa'sgarage.com. And let's get into today's video, which will be installing the HKS Hipermax Type R coilovers. You might be asking why we went with the HKS Type Rs. One, just I'm a super fanboy of HKS, always have been. The quality is top tier, and they're also, one, absolutely beautiful. Two, 2-year warranty, and it's a new product from HKS, and no one's done a video on it, so I'm excited to cover it. And obviously, it is a monotube design, and what that means is there's a single piston inside of here that goes up and down, compresses. It does have a digressive valve inside of it, from my understanding. So whenever you go over a bump, the fluid is going to go over this valve that is, I guess would be concaved. And as it hits the valve, it's going to take the fluid and increase the pressure. Therefore, essentially the way it works is if you hit a bump, the valve is going to cushion the ride faster than it normally would on a old standard coilover like what we have on the GTR right now. The spring rates for these are track oriented. I do believe they're 14-12, so 14 in the front, 12 in the rear, but that also goes off of what tires you're running, if you have sway bars, if you have stiffening in the suspension, which we all do. We don't have a 200 weight tire, but for track, we might buy a separate set of wheels and go with 200 weight, so that would be more track oriented. But it's also featuring a pivot ball mount, which means that the force that's coming from this mount on the knuckle straight up to the strut and the spring is more one-to-one, and it's going to be more direct. There's no bushings in between it other than the spring, which brings me to the next point of view, and is the helper spring. The point of the helper spring, which is this part right here, is that if you're going, say, around the corner, you hit the apex and your wheel lifts up, this spring under load or under weight of the car is going to be fully compressed. So it's going to look like it's fully squished, and the purpose of that is whenever you go across a corner, the wheel naturally is going to dip down because you're going over a corner. This spring is going to expand and therefore keeping a steady pressure on the main spring. That way you don't get an unsprung weight or you don't get play in the spring whenever you're going around a corner. That is the purpose of that. Also, you have dampening adjustments, hard and soft. It should be at neutral right now. I haven't messed with it. And then that's really it. This should be a simple, easy install. It does say left in English and in Japanese. So let's get them on. Obviously, jack up your car. We're there. We got to take the wheels off. So let's get to it. Also, before we get into that, I did do my first merch drop. Head to teresa'sgarage.com and check it out. Grab a shirt. I'm really proud of this one. It is Godzilla on Mount Fuji with some cherry blossoms around it, standing on like a standard style Japanese temple with Gojira written on the side of it. It's really appropriate being on the GTR. Also, it comes in this beautiful beige natural color, and my logo, Teresa's Garage, again, last name is Therese, is appropriate. And also I'm wearing another one right now And on this one is the back of the infamous power stump pulley. Insert now, Caleb. And yeah, grab a shirt, support. I love it. Just go check it out. And back to the normal resumed criteria of an episode. Alright, real easy, straightforward in doing this process. First thing you're going to do, obviously, jack up your car, take your wheels off. We've done that. Next, we're going to go ahead and, you're supposed to do this last, so we're going to go underneath the car. Oh boy. And you're going to have the mounting nut right there. It's a 19 millimeters. Take that off. And then come up here and take the two 14 millimeter nuts off. After you're done doing that, your coilover is going to drop on out. And look how cruddy that is. Tines did as good, but it's time to put them in the bin. Alright, after you dropped out your coilovers, you're going to open up your HKS box. Whenever you do that, you're going to have two boxes, obviously. One is going to be the rear set. The other set is going to be the front set with the hardware and the front coilovers, and you're also going to have your warranty information. Obviously, I'm not going to show that because these are serialized, I believe. And then you're also going to have your instruction manual. Super easy to follow. Spanner wrenches with the HKS stamp in them. As high quality as they are. Your dampening adjustment extension. You're going to have your mounting. It's going to tell you torque specs for the top. It's going to tell you process. This is 39 Newton meters to 54 Newton meters for your top hat. And then also this is on your hub assembly on your front. So this is actually the nut you're taking off of your front. You're going to include the spacer for the front, which is in this little baggie. And then you're going to slide the coilover on. The bushing is inside of it. And note that the bushing goes on the outside. Then you're going to use your factory washer and factory nut. And then you're going to torque it to 108 foot-pounds to 108 Newton meters to 127 foot-pounds. And then just do it to the other side. The quality of these is so nice. Well, let's put them in. Alright, spacer goes in the front, goes in first. Then make sure you wear gloves while you handle these because they're brand new. And then I'll try to show you. This part, this outer part goes out towards the car, or out towards the end of the flange. Angle these up. Little tech tip for anyone doing this. Obviously, I'm glad I covered this because if you come down here, and these are a lot thicker than older style coilovers, like the girth of this actual, where this bushing is pressed into. So you're gonna hit on this. Now either you can cut this corner out, or you can take a pair of channel locks on it, like I did, and you can just bend it out of the way, and then it slides right on. And she's in. Now we gotta do that to the other side. Put this on and torque it and press that in the rest of the way, which we'll use the nut for. And that's one in. The best helper. Rears are super easy. Two 12mm bolts or nuts. And then for some reason this side was 19, the other side was 17. But take those out. And then you gotta take your bolt out, but you need 2 hands for that. And it just drops out like so. Once you got your pin out, you just figure out the angle and you drop it out. Coilover's out. That's probably the easiest part, is the rears. It is super late, but we're still doing it so we can get this video uploaded. I've been driving on it for about 2 or 3 weeks. You didn't see me put the rear ones on. You saw me take the old ones out. All you have to do, loosen the collar, run the adjustment up so that the coilover gets smaller, and then that'll allow you to put it in that space. I couldn't get it in there without doing that. And then you just mark where it was on like the factory settings, and then you put it back that way. With that being said, the car sits about 1 inch lower now. If you watch Money Car Mods, then you know the shoe test. I can't get a crock in there. Before I could probably get 2 in there, and I was still scraping on every little bump. So that goes to show how bad the coilovers were, just worn, and then the difference between the new ones. I have them set right now, which I'll do a further review down the road, but I have them reduced on the softness by 2 clicks in the front and the rear. So I think I have 4 more clicks to go soft, and then from the current settings I would have +8 to go stiffer. Or if you want to think about it, you have 6 and 6 and then neutral. But I love them. They're not as stiff as people are making them out to be from what I hear. We do have Tail of the Dragon coming up in 2 weeks, and then also a week after that we have VIR for our first track day, and that's going to be awesome to test them out. The only time that I scrub is in the front, and it's when I'm going over a bump that this is the tire, and when the bump kicks it up like this, and it's just on the fender liner, that's the only time I scrape. Any normal bumps, potholes, nothing. I used to scrape on every little tiny like piece of gravel, so I am extremely pleased with that. And the rear end, whenever you go around the corner, is kind of snappy. So I need to fine tune that a little bit more, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as I was told it was gonna be. It's very, very, very high quality, which I would hope they would be, and they are coming from HKS. I would highly recommend them. I love them. I absolutely love them. But again, I'll do a further in-depth review later on, maybe like a 3-month review, something like that. Let me know in the comments what you want to hear about them. So yeah, other than that, they are on. They're super, super, super nice. The ride quality difference is amazing. I've also never owned a new pair of coilovers, so that could be going into it, but I have Cuscos on the 240, and those ride pretty good, amazing. But I don't know how new they are. We bought it like that. And then these are the only new coilovers I've ever bought. So with that being said, I would highly recommend them. If you're still watching, thank you very much for watching this far. It's awesome. And yeah, let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see in the reviews about them, or if there's anything else that I can do related to them. Now, I can't think of any other like tips to give on installing them. They're really straightforward. Next is buying coilovers and wheels for that after the V mount, and it runs. It runs. So I'm excited for that. There's a video coming for that very shortly. But yeah, Tail of the Dragon is in 2 weeks. VIR is a week after that. So we got some events coming up, and we're going to be putting them to the test, and I will keep you guys updated. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching so much. Also, Carson, if you're watching this from 7-Eleven, thank you for the free t-shirt. Awesome. And yeah, guys, so that's really about it. I am tired. I'm going to go upload this video and go to bed. So thank you for watching, and have a good night. I hope you enjoyed.